Hi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GG Report. We're glad that you are tuned in once again for today's episode. We welcome you to join us on a very, very important conversation today. Now, as you all know, the GG Report is a platform where we engage in big, bold ideas and honest conversations on a broad range of issues and subjects, financial, economic, social, political, and across a number of ideas. And so today, we welcome you to the show. Now, I have a very exciting subject for us to discuss today, and I have a very special guest with me on the show, Dr. David Kabata. Welcome to the show.
Pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me to your show.
Very good. Excellent. Now, I'm going to introduce Dr. Kabata to us, and then after that, we're going to go straight into the discussion. So first of all, let me introduce Dr. Kabata. Dr. Kabata is an entrepreneur. He's a consultant. He's a practitioner of business. And Dr. Kabata is actually a PhD holder in entrepreneurship. And today we're going to be discussing entrepreneurship, both the aspect of theory and practice. We want to really understand the relationship between theory and practice, because I think there has been a lot of, when people think about entrepreneurship, there is those who theorize about entrepreneurship and those who practice entrepreneurship, and we want to see how that connects. And Dr. Kabata is the best person to talk to us about that. He has achieved the highest qualification in that particular field. And so I'm going to ask you to first of all share with us your journey, your academic journey. Where did you begin? How did you end up, studying entrepreneurship up to the PhD level?
Thank you very much, Gigi. Allow me to start by saying that I started by doing economics.
Okay.
But when I was doing economics, I got a lot of interest in what was happening in the world of business and also entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I think you already know is that entrepreneurship is a small field in economics, a very small field in economics.
Okay.
And therefore, after I finished my undergraduate, I was employed in the banking industry.
Okay.
And now, the most important thing that happened in the banking industry mm-hmm. is when I was referred to the informal sector, Kariobangi, to work there.
All right.
Yes. Now, what happened is that I would go around there and see these Juakali people in a small sector who are doing small things, doing things you could not be able to imagine. Mm-hmm. And many of them would tell you they have never gone to school.
Okay.
And therefore, I wanted to understand more. About why is it that some of these people are so successful,
yes,
and they do not have some of these big achievements in education that we have. Mm-hmm. And therefore, after working for 4 years in the banking industry, I decided to leave the banking industry and go back to school.
Okay.
And by the time I was going back to school, I already knew what I was going to do.
Okay.
I had to pursue, that is entrepreneurship, because I had sat down with these people in the banking industry. Uh-huh. Learned about how they do things, mm-hmm. and I wanted to take it further now, theoretically, to really understand them. Mm. So I went to KEMU, I did my master's in entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And then I just decided that maybe I can continue with my life, my education life.
Yes.
Remember, I left the banking industry and did not look for any other job.
Okay.
I just went straight to books again.
Okay.
So I went to Kemadi University, I did a PhD. Mm-hmm. And by the age of 38, I was a PhD holder.
All right. That's a huge achievement. At the age of 38, graduating with a PhD in entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. I think you're on the, on the if you look at the average age at which people achieve a PhD, you're on the lower end in terms of age distribution, of if you assume a normal distribution. And I guess I'll probably be on the higher end. The average age is obviously, most people achieve their PhD way later in life.
Yes.
Very good. So I think you've described something very interesting, and this is what I want us to unravel, because we want to show how there is the relationship between theory and practice. And I think you had a very, very good exposure when you started dealing with these guys from Kariobangi who were now coming to the bank to borrow money to enhance their businesses. So right from there, you actually saw practitioners who wanted to engage the bank, and so that then they can be able to take forward their enterprise. Okay, so first of all, let's break down this idea of entrepreneurship. What is and what is not entrepreneurship?
Gigi, for me, entrepreneurship is about value addition.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship is about solving people's problem.
Okay.
And I think that is where we go wrong in this country.
Yes.
Because we do not train our young people how to solve problems.
Okay.
How to be critical thinkers.
Yes.
People who can be able to criticize things.
Yes.
They look at this camera and start thinking about how can it be able to work without somebody.
Yes.
That is what we call critical thinking.
Yes.
Creativity.
Yes.
How can our people be more creative, that they look at things and start thinking about how they can be made better?
Yes.
That is what we mean by entrepreneurship. Therefore, anything that does not add value
Yes.
to me or to you
Yes.
is not entrepreneurship. And actually, that is why I have a problem with our young people.
Mm-hmm.
When they develop aeroplanes.
Yes.
And the media
Yes.
brings them as innovation. For me, that is not innovation.
Okay.
Because for innovation, it has to create value for people. Are people going to really? Are people willing to buy that aeroplane when you create it?
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, entrepreneurship is about you create value,
Yes.
you deliver that value to the customer,
Yes.
and you make money from that value. It is as simple as that.
No, I think you've raised something very, very profound.
Yes.
The idea that, we kind of like, there is this feeling that, in Africa, we're not really doing great things. Look at the West, they did the airplanes, they did the cars, and here we are in Kenya, we have hardly produced one car and all that. And so we kind of feel like we are losing the game. But you're saying something very important, that it is one thing to develop a car, and we'll come to a car. There's a car that has been developed. It's one thing to develop a car, but it's another thing for that whole venture to really make sense. So why reinvent the wheel and pretend to be solving a problem and be very grand about it, while really you're not solving any problem in particular? That's what you're saying.
Yes, yes. Actually, that is my main definition of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
You must be solving a problem for people. Because, you see, you cannot just develop a product or a service
Yes.
for yourself.
Yes.
You are developing it for other people.
Exactly.
And therefore, people don't buy products.
Yes.
People don't buy services.
Yes.
People buy value.
People buy value.
Yes. What value am I getting from this shirt?
Yes.
The day this shirt will lose value,
Yes.
I'll throw it away.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So if we have to make our people entrepreneurs,
Yes.
we have to train them how to create value. And when you talk about, the problem is that when you talk about value,
Yeah.
people think big things.
Yes.
Look at this place. Ambience alone is value.
Yes.
The way it is painted, the way it looks, that is value.
Yes.
When you bring the products near to the customer, that is value. I'll give
Yes.
you an example of hawkers.
Yes.
You see, I keep telling people that every business has a business model. But when we people in academia talk about business model, people think that we are talking jargons. We are not talking jargons. I'll give you an example of a hawker.
Yes.
You want tomatoes.
Yes.
But you don't want to go to Marikiti because of insecurity, because of that, and all
Yes.
these other things.
Yes.
So the hawker knows that you want what? Tomatoes.
You want some nice, decent looking tomatoes, and you are in a hurry and you're going home.
Yes.
Exactly.
So he brings the tomatoes at Tomboya.
Yes.
Is he not creating value for you? He is, by bringing them near to you.
Yes.
That is how simple it is
Yes.
to create value. So when you talk about creating value, you're not talking about big things. Look at M-Pesa. Convenience of sending money. That is value.
Yes.
So can our people learn how to create value and understand what is value?
Exactly.
The reason why I'm wearing this shirt is because I want to look smart. That is value.
Yes.
The minute I realize I'm not looking smart, I throw it away because it is not giving me any value.
Exactly.
So how can our people know how to create value? Because when they know how to create value for the customer, then what is going to happen is that they are going to make money. Because of what you need to do is to deliver the value to the customer, and they pay for it because it's something they are looking for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. I believe that you already engaged so seriously. By the way, we have contact numbers running on the screen. If you have a question, you have something you'd like to contribute, or you'd like to engage in this conversation, please, you can send a text or call the number on the screen. You can also go to our Elevate TV Kenya YouTube channel and then make comments when this program runs on the YouTube channel, and engage with us, and we can get in touch, we can answer your questions. Excellent. So I think what you've said is the idea of an entrepreneur is someone who creates value, and that must be the bottom line. That must be very, very clear. And so anyone who is not creating value really is missing in the conversation, in the entrepreneurial game. All right, so now, of course, for one to create value, there are certain maybe ingredients, key ingredients, for one to become successful at that creating value. Can you talk to us about what you believe are the key ingredients for success for an entrepreneur? Because I think that has been missing in the conversation.
One of the things that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be somebody who is very keen.
Yes.
Look at the challenges, the small challenges that the people have.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. When the Lipa na M-Pesa came into the market,
yes,
the regulations that were there were so stringent that it could not have been used by the small businesses. Because one of the things that you needed to do is to have a registered business.
Okay.
But most of the small businesses are not registered.
Yes.
So guys saw an opportunity there. They were very keen to look at that product.
Yes.
They saw an opportunity there that how can we help the organization that is the owner of this product to also loop in these people who are not registered.
The informal sector. Yes.
They saw an opportunity there. So you must be very keen. Now they went and told the owner of the product that we have these small organizations in our database that are not registered, but they can come into Lipa na M-Pesa using our name. And that is how all these small merchants have come into the market. You must be very keen in what is happening in the market.
Okay.
Second, you must be somebody who can be able to empathize with the people. And that is another big problem with majority of the people who want to go to the business. Put yourself in people's shoe. You are solving people's problem. You are not solving animals' problem. Empathize.
You must be able to immerse yourself into somebody's problem. So if, for example, it is a food product you're developing, you must imagine yourself that how do I solve this problem? You know, I mean, I want some, say, packaged tomato flavor of some sort, and I've always found myself looking for this thing in the kitchen, and I don't seem to find it. How can I make it possible? Are there other people who are struggling with this same problem? So that's the empathy part of it.
Yes.
Wow.
Go to the people. You see, the problem with us is that, and that is why sometimes I fight business plan.
Yes.
I hear majority of us believe that if you have to be in business, you have to write a business plan. But that is not the way. A business plan is an implementation document, unless you want to implement something that you have not tested.
Yes.
Because when you tell me that you want to make a financial plan for your business that you have not started for 3 years.
Yes.
Are you normal? You are not normal. You are not normal. Let us be sincere.
Actually, by the way, let's talk about this business plan thing, because a lot of entrepreneurs are stuck with this business plan thing. Because we hear this all the time. You need a business plan. You need to plan where you're going. It's something that is just churned out. And most entrepreneurs buy this idea that you have to have a business plan. But now you're saying no, you don't start with a business plan.
You don't start with a business plan. You start with a business model. The
Uh-huh.
one that I've talked about over Hoka.
Yes.
A small model, a one-page model for yourself.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. There is a kiosk owner
Yes.
we had a chat with, and I asked her a simple question. What really motivated you to start this kiosk?
Yes.
And I thought that she did not know what she was doing. She's already an old lady. You know what she told me, Gigi?
Yes.
The answer was very funny. She told me that the reason as to why I have this kiosk here is to serve those people who have forgotten something in the supermarket, like salt,
Yes.
like toilet paper,
Yes.
like a matchstick. How many times do you go to the toilet paper, to the
Supermarket.
You buy everything, but you forget salt.
Yes.
Are you going to go back to the supermarket to get salt? No. The business model is already there. You can see it.
So this woman gave you a PhD quality answer.
Yes.
She describes her business model, what they call elevator pitch. You hear this, some of these fancy concepts, being padded around in conferences, entrepreneurship conference, elevator pitch. But here is an average educated woman. Actually, let's not even talk about her education, because it's not an issue. But you asked her a straightforward question, why? And she was able to give you a classic MBA business model answer.
Yes, and that is why I'm saying,
yes,
if you don't have a business model, a simple one,
yes,
how am I going to create value for the customer?
Yes.
How am I going to deliver that value to the customer?
Yes.
And how am I going to make money? Those three things.
Yes.
You are not in business, you are wasting time.
Exactly.
So instead of developing a business plan,
yes,
develop that. Ask yourself a simple question.
Yes.
Those three questions.
What problem am I solving?
What problem am I solving? And for who?
And for who?
And how am I going to get there?
And who should care?
Yes. So this business of telling people to write business plan, and I think in your show you should tell people, especially the ones who are writing business plan, they are wasting time. Get into the develop a business model, get into the market, know whether your model is working. If it is working,
yes,
continue then write the business plan later when you are implementing the model, not starting with it.
Yes.
So I think those are some of the challenges that we have, especially in our academic arena, especially when we teach our young people some of those courses. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example that I also teach business plan in the university.
Yes.
But I keep telling students that I'm wasting your time.
Yeah, you don't make those kind of confessions in class.
I do.
So you just keep teaching on your day, and let them do the business plans.
I do.
Anyway, but you're honest.
Yes, I do. But I do because after I have finished teaching them business plan,
yes,
I teach them how to develop a business model.
Yes.
And every time I have taught students how to develop a business model,
yes,
they all ask me in unison,
yes,
Mwalim, why did you waste our time teaching us the business plan?
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's really amazing. That's really amazing. So viewers, as you follow through this conversation, I believe that your eyes are lighting up, and you're saying, man, we want to hear more. So I want to ask Dr. Kabata to comment on, of course, the scenario we are having now. We've been dealing with one of the most monstrous situation, the COVID-19 problem, and which impacted a lot of small businesses. And I know we haven't finished with the list of the skill sets that are needed for you to succeed. We have done 2, but we'll come back to that. But let's link that with this COVID. So, and maybe perhaps that can also produce an extra set of success keys to success. What did you observe in terms of the impact, both negative and positive, of the situation we are going through?
I always tell people, what COVID did
Yes.
is that it disrupted our business model. I go back to the business model. How do you create value? It was disrupted.
Yes.
How do you deliver the value? Maybe that is what was disrupted. And that is why you're not making money. So one of the things that you need to understand as a small business owner is what part of your business model was disrupted.
Exactly.
Was it value creation? Because you see, how did COVID disrupt the value creation?
Yes.
It disrupted the value creation through social distancing.
Yes.
Instead of having 10 employees in your organization, you are supposed to have 2 employees in your organization.
Yes.
So what they could have produced, the 10 one, they could not have produced, the 2 cannot be able to produce. And therefore, your production capability or capacity went low. So that is the value creation. If it was not the value creation, it's the delivery system. How to get to the customer.
Okay.
And all this brings in a situation where now you cannot be able to make money because you are not either creating value or you are not delivering the value.
Okay.
So the small business need to do one thing.
Yes.
One is to identify where the problem is in their value chain system.
Yes.
Second, the COVID-19 has taught us very important lessons, and I like it actually.
Yes.
One is that we can be, it does not matter, any business can be disrupted in this world.
Yes.
However big it is, and therefore, as a business owner, the first question that you need to ask yourself, if ABC happened, how do I change?
Very good.
I've been telling them, actually I've been telling most of these people who are the owners of the small business, one lesson that you people have learned is that any online, any offline system of delivery of systems, delivery of products you have should also be online.
Okay, that's a very important point. Anyone who has a business model which is dependent on offline delivery should also have an online delivery aspect of that business, so that then if the offline is disrupted, like COVID, lockdown, no movement, you can still be able to deliver value to your customers online. Very, very important.
That is the first thing that COVID has taught us. COVID has also taught us how to change direction.
Wow.
And that is what we call pivoting. We are calling pivoting.
For
those of you who have used the seesaw,
you
know we pivot. You go up, and then when you reach the highest point, you go down, the other one comes up. That is the pivot that I'm talking about. When do you change the direction?
I mean, all the kids, anyone who grew up in the village or wherever, in school or primary, know how to play that game. Where one kid sits on the other side and another kid on this side, there is a log in between, and you play the seesaw. So that's the pivot. The pivot is that place. And the game is playable by the other person letting you go up, and then you also push it, then you let them go up, they enjoy the up. So the pivot bit. So you're saying in business the same principle works. You have to pay attention to how the movement, to the pivoting aspect of your business. When something goes up, then what needs to go down? That kind of thing. And so I know we want to go into that and break it down a little bit more in terms of how you can utilize the idea of pivoting to make your business better. So you've said, I want to summarize, one of the most important things that COVID has taught us is the idea that we must be able to see what changed and be able to assimilate those lessons. How the disruption changed the business. What changed? Is it the value addition in terms of production? Is it the delivery of value to the customer that changed? Is it the channels that had to be different and that kind of thing? Okay, so so that is the lesson. In terms of the impact on the entrepreneur himself or herself, what should the entrepreneur take on? And I want you to just mention one thing, and then we go on a break and then come back to the other aspect, the entrepreneur.
Now, for the entrepreneurs, COVID has also taught us about innovation. You must be very innovative and creative in your business.
Yes.
Because these disruptions are coming. Actually, this is a game changer.
Yes.
I keep hearing people talking about normal, going back to the normal. We are not going to go back to the normal. This is the new normal.
Yes.
We never used to teach online in the universities.
Yes.
Right now, we will have blended systems because we have already tested the system using the what? The COVID-19, during the COVID-19
Yeah. This gave us the platform to test a rather very, this is an idea that universities have taken so much time to embrace. I mean, you have been in the teaching, game for a long time, and it was very, very difficult to persuade students, even students, to come online for a teaching. But now we have tested it for like a whole year. So for the entrepreneur, you're saying that the entrepreneur must be able to embrace what?
Change.
Yes. They must be ready to change and be champions of change. In other words, the most important lesson for us as we go into a break is, as an entrepreneur, one of the things that you must embrace is the idea of be ready for change. Be ready to shift and embrace things that disrupt you, and be flexible enough to shift direction. So we'll go on a short break. When we come back, I'm going to ask Dr. Kabata to comment on a few other things. I think we'll go back to the list of some of the key factors for success, and as we unravel this, and I hope you're enjoying this show and learning that indeed there are ways you can do business and be successful, and entrepreneurship is a wonderful journey, which is good for all of us. All right, so we go on a short break, then we'll come back and continue with the conversation. All right, great. Thank you.